Alright guys, I'm back with my review of this week's TNA Impact Wrestling for January 3rd, 2013. And I thought this was an okay show. What hurt this one for me was the storylines I'm just not really interested in. For the past few weeks, Kazarian and Christopher Daniels are probably the only thing I really care about on this show. And some of the Aces stuff has just been really goofy and just ridiculous. The Brooke Hogan stuff I don't care about. But the reason I thought this was an okay show was because you could tell they really went all out with this one. Or they tried to make the show feel special, I guess. They had the steel cage match. They revealed a member of the Aces. They had Sting's big return. And they tried to do something to make it feel special. So it was an okay show, but it's just a lot of the storylines and the booking just... I can't get into it. It's really hard, and they revealed one of the Aces. It's Mike Knox, and so what? This whole thing is just like a downward spiral going nowhere, and who really cares? Once they revealed the leader, who I think is at this point D'Lo Brown, then what? I mean, is he going to wrestle again? Who cares about this? So that was my problem with some of the storylines, but it was an entertaining show for the most part. I liked the Knockouts match. I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, like I said, really the only thing I care about on the show is Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. So it starts off with Jeremy Borash in the ring with the trophy to present to the winner of the Best Wrestler of 2012 as voted by the fans. He brings out Bully Ray, Storm, Aries, Rude, and Hardy. It's Hardy. It is a fan vote, so of course it's going to be a popularity contest. I would have gone with Rude myself, but I wasn't surprised it was Hardy at all. Hardy thanks the fans. Rude gets in the ring and says he only cares about the title and not what the fans think. He says it's bullshit that he's not Wrestler of the Year, and Aries gets in and says that he deserves the trophy, and Hardy says that he'll take them both on at Genesis. They attack Hardy, and Austin Aries tries to hit him with the trophy, accidentally hits Rude. Hardy hits the Twist of Fate on Aries and then holds up his broken trophy. The cameraman asks James Storm how he feels, and Kazarian and Daniels show up. They make fun of him. Storm talks about kicking their ass using social media references, and then he spits in Daniels' Appletini. So Storm is in the ring waiting to face Daniels or Kazarian. Daniels acts like it's going to be him, but Kazarian attacks him from behind. It was a short match. Storm wins with a super kick despite Daniels interfering the entire time. The Aces and Eights are in their clubhouse, and Devon tells Anderson they need an answer. The way they have this set up is Anderson is not going to join the Aces. He's not giving them an answer because he wants to have sex with their strippers, but he doesn't want to join the group. And this is bad because they really need him to join. Not so much because they need Mr. Anderson, but because if he doesn't and turns them down, it makes them look really bad. Like they can't even bribe anybody to join the shitty group, and that's how it comes across. So he really needs to join, but the way they're making this play out is he's not going to. So they need an answer, and he says he wants to think about it a little more, and Doc says that Sting is coming back. We need an answer. So Anderson says we can't show Sting any fear. He hands Doc his hammer, and then Devon can't find his baseball bat anywhere. And based on what happens later, I guess Sting broke in and stole it. He broke into the clubhouse and stole the baseball bat. So Kenny King tells Kid Cash that he remembers watching him on VHS. He talks about this X Division tournament they're having, where next week it's going to be Kenny King versus Zema Ion. Tonight it's Christian York versus Kid Cash. They go to the finals, and the winner faces RVD. Doc comes out, and he says, Stinger, where are you? He gets pissed when Sting doesn't show. A baseball bat falls from the rafters. My God, this is old school WCW all over again. The baseball bat falls down, and Doc does a horrible job acting scared, and it immediately cuts to commercial. Brooke says that she hasn't talked to her dad. Remember, they live in the Impact Zone. Nothing outside of the Impact Zone exists in this universe. Only what takes place on the show. So they do not communicate outside of the Impact Zone. Kid Cash versus Christian York. Decent match here. There was a little bit of miscommunication, it seemed like, and there was this one spot where Christian York hits this awkward-looking handstand where he's supposed to bounce off the ropes, and it looked really weird. I don't know what the hell happened here. But Christian York wins with the mood swing neckbreaker. Chavo and Hernandez say they're not scared of Ryan or Morgan, and any other team in TNA, they fear no one. And it's supposed to be Hernandez versus Matt Morgan. This was so stupid. Matt Morgan comes out with his arm in a sling, and in his words, he was tossing 700 to 800 pounds around the gym like it was his freaking job, and accidents happen. Why not just say 1,000 pounds? It's no more ridiculous. 700 to 800 pounds, my ass. This is so unbelievable. WWE has Big E Langston, okay, whose gimmick is he's this power lifter, and they don't even say that about him. So why are they making up these numbers? Does anybody really believe Matt Morgan's in the gym tossing around 800 pounds? Because it's not happening. I promise you it's not happening. But anyways, what happens next here? So it ends up being Joey Ryan versus Hernandez. Morgan grabs Hernandez's leg, and this causes the sling to come off. So the injury was fake. He gets in the ring, or Hernandez hits the pounce on Ryan. Morgan gets in and clotheslines him. Chavo gets in. He hits the carbon footprint. Kurt Angle tells Wes and Garrett they don't need to be at ringside for the cage match. Angle tells Joe that he is going to unmask all the aces starting tonight. Hogan comes out. He apologizes for being gone last week, but after seeing Brooke and Bully making out, he couldn't be there. So he calls him out and tells Bully that there's a code of ethics, and Bully never told him what was really going on, and he wants to know why. And Bully says he should have come clean, all the heat's on him, and Hogan says Bully doesn't belong in this business and suspends him, and then he tells Brooke to get the hell out too. A Joseph Park training video. He's improving, he's watching tapes, and he's ready for his match. We get the Knockouts match with Gail Kim and Tara versus Tessmacher and Mickie James. This was pretty good. I liked this. Tessmacher attacks Tara, and Jesse pulls her out of the ring. Tessmacher dives on him. Mickie hits the DDT on Gail for the win. The Aces and Eights are talking about how they need to keep the masks on. These guys are so bad. So, I mean, as an organization, they're terrible. They have no idea what they're doing. They have no plan of attack. And what's their goal? Even if they did. I mean, they got, what was it? They got full access to the Impact Zone. They got that, and it's helped them zip. I mean, done nothing for them. So, what are they after now? ODB promo on how Eric Young is out of the hospital. He will be back. Her hair was really poofed up. It looked awesome. I don't know what you would call it, but it was great. Aries and Bobby Roode are pissed that it's a three-way, and Hogan says it's going to be an elimination triple threat. And next week it's Roode and Aries versus Hardy and a partner of his choice. Probably James Storm, I'd say. A steel cage match with Devon and the Mustache Member versus Angle and Samoa Joe. Doc attacks Angle before he can get in the cage. And they lock Joe in. Joe watches all of this unfold and does nothing. And then they beat up Joe. Kurt keeps trying to get in the cage. And Devon runs over and kicks the cage into his face. It was funny. He tries again later. He tries to climb up. Doc runs out and pulls him down. Angle kicks him in the balls and steals the key and gets in the cage. They start beating up the Aces. He goes to unmask the masked member, and Doc kicks the cage into his face, busts Kurt Angle open, so he's bleeding all over the place. And despite all of this, the babyfaces still win after an Angle slam onto the Mustache Member. So nothing beats these guys. Afterwards, the Aces and Eights attack the ring and beat up Angle, and Anderson's out there. He's just watching. So technically he hasn't done anything wrong yet. And Sting runs out with the baseball bat, clears out the Aces. They keep the mustache member in the ring, and they take his mask off, and it's Mike Knox. So there you go. That was the show. Makes me wonder what's going to happen with this whole Al Snow investigation from when he was drugged, and apparently they sent off the evidence for blood testing. All types of crazy shit's going on with this. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but yeah, a few weeks ago, Al Snow was drugged, and D'Lo was really concerned about this, and that's why he couldn't do the gut check for Wes Briscoe. So it's just going to end up being that he was drugged by someone involved with the Aces so that D'Lo could vote for Wes Briscoe and get him into TNA, and then Wes is going to be a part of the Aces and Eights. And at least that's what it seems like to me, but who knows, they may change their minds and say, it's too obvious, we gotta change it up a little bit, and then it's gonna be something really stupid. So yeah, I don't know. It was an okay show. I mean, it had some entertaining stuff, but they really gotta do something with these storylines to improve them, because this Brooke Hogan stuff does nothing for me. I don't know anybody who cares about this, and where does it lead to? I mean, it's not going to be Bully Ray versus Hogan, so what happens next? Do they even have a plan with this? But yeah, that's my review of this week's Impact. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this week's show in the comments, and thanks for watching.